Hi everyone, this is Why You Merch. Today I will be showing you how I store my Lush products. First you will need some press and seal or plastic wrap, a mallet, a cutting board, a small plastic bag, a knife that you would use for soap and not food, something to catch stray crumbs with, and of course you're going to need some containers. I have 3 here, one large one, one tall one, and one really small one here. And you're going to need some Lush products, of course. I have a dust container. This is where I put all the crumbs so that I can save them. So the first thing here I have are some bath bombs. I have 2. The blue one I have is Frozen, and the other one with multiple colors is Experimenter. I have a small bathtub, so what I do is I cut my bath bombs. If you have a larger bathtub or you just prefer to keep them whole, you don't have to cut your bath bombs, obviously, but this is just my preference. If you do want to cut them, my general rule is look for a bath bomb that has a seam in the middle, and look for the ones that have 2 or less layers. Both of these are good examples because they both have 1 layer and they have a seam in the center. Now what you want to do is take your plastic bag and put your bath bomb right in the middle of it. Position your knife over the seam and then just tap it gently with a mallet. You can also do this with a screwdriver. It has to be a flathead screwdriver though. Just hit it gently with the mallet and it should break in half into perfect halves, like so, and all the crumbs will be caught in the plastic bag. And then you should wrap it with your plastic wrap or press and seal. I pick press and seal because it sticks to itself, and if this was to touch water, the water doesn't stick to it because press and seal doesn't stick to water. So, of course, I have to make sure that it is wrapped all the way. Now, if you're cutting a bath bomb that is seamless, be careful with it because it is more prone to breaking. So, and of course those one-time use ones, don't cut those. So here I'm putting all the dust into the dust jar. So like I was saying, don't cut those one-time use ones like Pink or Ickle Baby Bot or Butterball or any of the other ones that are generally small, even if you have a small bathtub. But those seamless ones like Golden Wonder, you should probably refrain from cutting those in the first place. Now we're going to cut Experimenter in the exact same way, the mallet. And there you have 2 perfect halves. One side has gold, white, and purple, and the other side has pink and blue. If you're wondering why I'm speaking so softly, this is an ASMR video which is used to help people relax and sleep. Of course, if that's going to annoy or irritate you, you may want to look for another video. But I'm trying to just be informative and be relaxing at the same time. I also kind of apologize because I didn't add any of the sounds of me actually wrapping things because I figured if I'm going to be, cutting the bath bombs using a mallet, it might make a really loud noise, and I don't want that. Or the press and seal is actually quite loud when you take it off of the box. So that's why. So here I'm putting all of the dust into the plastic bag so that it can easily be funneled into the dust jar. Like so. You definitely want to save this, it adds up. And now we're moving on to bubble bars. This one right here is Rose Jam Bubble Rune, and a bubble rune has two parts that are bubble bar, and in the center there is a bath melt. I cut it directly in the middle of the bath melt so that both sides will have the bath melt, rather than separating it where one side of the bubble bar has no bath melt and the other does. I don't like that. I like these halves to be equal. I actually like to cut mine into eighths. Like I said, I have a small bathtub and I agitate my bubbles pretty well. This one should be pretty self-explanatory. Just cut them to however large you want the bubble bar to be. There are bubble bars that are reusable. Definitely don't cut those. They're reusable, so just let them dry. You don't really need to cut them because they're reusable for a reason. I have one that is from Christmas, and it's the Magic Wand bubble bar. I actually have a little storage box where I keep extra Lush products. Call it my emergency kit. So here I'm just individually wrapping the chunks of bubble bar. And I do this several times until I get all of it wrapped up. And then put all of the bubble bar crumbs into the dust jar. Like so. Unfortunately, I couldn't record all of that. My battery ran out. So we're just going to move on. This here is a fun bar, and these are so versatile, and you can save a lot of money with these. You can use them as bubble bar, a soap bar, shampoo. You can use it as body wash. You can just play with it like Play-Doh. It wasn't difficult to remove the wrapper from this. I just sort of have a way of, removing it. You should peel off the label a little bit because they tend to put the label over where the wrapper, overlaps itself. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But also preserve that label because you're going to be using it later when storing your fun bar. So there. Oh gosh. I have to be more careful. This would be much easier to do if I had scissors, but I didn't at the moment and I sort of forgot to get them. I was too excited for doing this video, so of course. The label is cut out of the thing, and I think now we're ready to, nope, no we're not. Okay, putting the crumbs into the dust jar again. And with fun bars, this usually happens a lot. Little pieces of it just fly everywhere. Can't be helped, especially if you're shaping it into anything. Okay, now ready to separate them. So So I'm very picky with this, and I like to make sure that the little, the fun bar colors don't mix. So I'm just cutting off little slices in the parts where the colors mix. And don't throw those away, you can still use those. That's what I'm doing. You can see I'm mixing them together. You can make really nice swirly designs if you continually rip it in half and fold it over itself and just continue flattening it out. I think it looks really nice. I like to use my fun bar for bubble bars, so I also cut these into eighths like I would with a bubble bar. And I cut them into little triangular wedges. They actually look really cute like this. Kind of look like little slices of cake. Yep. And then I individually wrap them just like I did with the bubble bar. And this might actually take a while because, I'm going to be making 32 slices, so I had to sit here for a while and do this, of course. But anything for storing Lush properly. And remember, all of this is optional. You may have your own way of doing this, and this is just my suggestions. So I put all of these in one big container. Make sure your container is clear so that you can see what's inside. Put your label facing outward so you can see it. And you know what's in your container beforehand. There. I also cut up the swirly fun bar thing. Didn't want to keep that part whole. So there it is. Trying to fill this with words. It's not really happening. So of course you want to cover your container of fun because you don't want any shower steam or anything to get into it because it softens it too much. And now we're moving on to shower jellies. Don't do what I did. Don't put your fingers on the knife. So shower jellies are really nice because you can travel with them and you don't have to worry about carrying around a liquid. What I do with them is I cut them into individual pieces, one-use pieces. I mean, you could use this whole thing, but I feel that the more times you bring it into the shower, the weaker it gets with the amount of water and heat that it's exposed to. So this is why I slice it up into 1 inch by 2 inch pieces. Well, roughly. I don't actually know how many pieces I'm cutting it into. I don't count them. But, if I run out, then I would just use a fun bar. It's fine. I just think it's really fun to cut a shower jelly. It's very relaxing. They work just like a gelatin. Once gelatin gets very warm, it starts to separate, all the water starts leaching out of it, and you don't want that to happen to your shower jellies. That way, using one piece, all the rest are still inside the little tub, and they're all safe. That one piece is used up, and all your other pieces are fine. They're perfectly fine. I like to keep mine in the fridge so that they stay a little more solid, because they tend to be leaky or melt. Even when I first get them from Lush, they're a little bit melty, so I try to store it almost immediately. bath melt. This one here is Floating Island. And we're gonna wrap this just like we did with all the other bath products, except I'm gonna be making this into like a little pouch, almost like a little bag. And the reason why I do this is actually to keep the shape of the bath melt, because bath melts tend to, melt. You put these in your bath water and they're like oils. They're supposed to moisturize your skin. There are other things that Lush sells that tend to melt very easily. Definitely massage bars, body butters, things like that. Keep those in their tins. Here I have some sample pots and a soap bar. You can store these with the rest of your bath items. Of course, if you have any shampoo bars and things like that, put those in the tins. Anything that really comes in a tin, you should put with all your bath products. Put it in a container of its own if you want. Soap bars too, but I will be unwrapping mine because I'll be using it for a soap dish next to my sink, so I won't be storing that one. So once you're done with all that, clean up all your stuff and put your shower jelly and bath melt in the fridge or the freezer. You can see all my yogurt and jello and stuff like that and some hot dogs. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.